Good afternoon, everyone. We are really glad to have this opportunity to share with you our research. Our research is evolved around academic mentoring program at LSE in the Econ department. We aim to answer 3 questions. Firstly, what are the student expectations for this program? Secondly, why currently some students hardly ever meet their academic mentors? And thirdly, what is the role of academic mentoring in building a sense of community in the student body? I will be sharing the key findings, and Callum will be talking about our suggestions. And the findings are divided into these 3 sections. So first of all, student expectations. We found that our students would like to have a friend-like relationship with our mentors. One common comment that we got was that students feel like the current relationship is not personal enough, and they would want to know their mentors more on a personal level. Secondly, students expect the academic mentors to take initiative in this relationship. We can see here on this graph that 56% of students wish their AM to arrange regular meetings, to initiate regular meetings for them. Thirdly, students look to have a very deep understanding of LSE from the mentoring program, so they hope the mentor have rich knowledge about studying at LSE in areas such as course choices, society choices, and so on. Fourthly, students want to have informal meetings with their AM. Lunch socials, coffee breaks with mentors and other mentees are always welcome by our students. And lastly, the top 3 objectives that students want to gain from these programs are academic advice, career advice, and a sense of community. Moving on to student experience, we found that sadly, students now feel that the relationship is in general very forced and awkward. This quote is shared by a lot of students. Students feel that they are having this relationship with their mentor only because it is required by the department, not because it is an organic relationship that's formed. First year challenge has helped to engage our students. First year challenge is a group task that need to be completed in the first year, and students feel that it is a very good way to help them to be engaged in this relationship. And another very interesting finding we got is that undergraduate tutors are more dedicated to help our students when they are in the role of academic mentor, because they have more time to spend with our students, and they in general have more email communications with our students. So what are the reasons that students cannot have a very close relationship with the mentors are the following. So first of all, mentors are very busy and they cannot spend enough time with our student. Secondly, many students do not understand how to make use of the system. And this is actually linked to our 3rd finding, that students have a very passive role in this relationship. This is part because if they do not understand the full benefits, they will not make use of the system. And it's also because they feel this relationship is a short-term one and they don't have much incentive to improve it. Now I will hand over to Callum to talk about our recommendations.
Okay, so our suggestions we've broken into 2 parts. First on the mentor-mentee relationship and how to improve that. So really key to this is the idea of building the relationship as early as possible and keeping it going. So we want to emphasize this in first year, and particularly from the mentor's point of view, is that the students seem to want the mentor to engage most with the mentee rather than the other way around. We also want to ensure that students have only one academic mentor for the same reason. Students should be educated on how to make the most of the system. There seems to be an imbalance on what they understand mentoring to offer them. So informing them on that would help. And we would also like to increase incentives for mentors to take an interest in the relationship, as currently it's likely to put on the back burner relative to research. And also, in order to challenge the disparity, although this would be expensive, between undergraduate tutors and other academic staff, we suggest expanding the role of the undergraduate tutors with assistant staff. If you want to move on to the next slide. And then sense of community more generally, so this is both with the department and with other students. We suggest that the mentor, again with first year challenge that they engage as early as possible. Also to get LSE students to talk to each other, which we're not particularly good at doing, we suggest continuing socials with mentors and mentees, as well as introducing a family system within the department. And lastly, it did crop up quite frequently that dedicated space for the economic students may help improve sense of community here.